Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Vince with Green Joe Coffee, also Helix. That's my brick and mortar. And so today I just want to make a real short video on a question I got asked from one of our members. The member specifically asked the question on private events and how I charge for those, that type of thing. So I thought I'd take that question and just maybe expand it a little bit further. So when I first pick up a phone call or an email, typically what I first ask is this a catering event or is this a vendor event? So who's flipping the bill? Is it the customer that's flipping the bill, meaning I'm a vendor at your event, or are you flipping the bill and you want to buy this for your customer, maybe weddings, birthday parties, or churches, whatever. So that's what I start off with. So, and those are going to put me down two different tracks. So we'll start off with catering. So if it's a catering event, the first thing I want to ask is how many people are there. So for me, it's 40. I won't go below 40. So I say, okay, well, 40 is my minimum at $5 a piece, so $200 to get me out of the door. And what that allows me to do is that allows me to get an employee out there for at least 4 to 5 hours and still make a profit. That being said, my next question is how long do you want me out there? Because if they want me out there on a 6-hour day or an 8-hour day, I got to pay an employee the entire time. So when I go to quote them, I'm going to build in my profit to that. So even if they're like, well, we only have 40 people, but we want you for 8 hours. So I'm going to be like, okay, well, unfortunately, I do have to charge an employee charge to staff someone. And so, I'll tack on my employee charge, and I usually mark that up too. So that's another thing that, and the employee charge, it just kind of depends. I pay my employees, it just, depends. If it's deep into the evening, I'm going to pay them more. If it's just regular work hours, then I'm going to pay them, anywhere from 10 to 15 bucks an hour, depending on what the event looks like. So, all that being said, those are just factors that I look at, So on average, if they want me for an 8-hour day, on a regular day, it might be 80 bucks that it's going to cost me. So I'm going to mark that up and charge them, I don't know, 160 bucks and just go ahead and make my money there as well as on the coffee. So I'll charge them for service and for product on those larger events where they want me to stay for a long time. I ask if this is indoor versus outdoor. Those are different factors. I have to set up things like tents, shade, all that stuff when it comes to outdoor. Indoor, I have to be concerned about electricity. Are you going to want to do espresso drinks, or is this, my basic menu, my 5 top sellers? So those are other factors that I'll ask when doing the catering. And then, of course, we already talked about time of day. So all those kind of go in a factor. If it's just a regular event, hey, we want you there from 8 a.m. to noon, top 5 sellers, hot coffee, caramel macchiato, vanilla chocolate, and a cold brew, then I can put someone out there for 200 bucks, okay? If it gets, they want more than that, hey, this is out of town, hey, this is a longer event, hey, this is whatever, then we're going to start moving up the charge from there. And the biggest piece of advice that I could give is build your profit into that. Don't expect more money to come after that. So whatever you quote, make sure your profit is built into that quote. Okay, so back to vendoring. So vending. So if this isn't a catering job, they're like, no, we don't want to pay you. We want you to come set up. Then my first question is there any other coffee there? Not is there another coffee vendor? Not is there other beverages? Is there any other coffee there? And the reason I say that is because I've been to events where they're giving out free coffee that'll kill your sales. So I ask, is there any other coffee there? If there's any other coffee there, they better have the numbers to support me being there as well. And what I mean by numbers is total population, which leads me to my next question. How many people are at your event? I won't do events for less than 1,000 people. And I especially won't do events that are less than 1,000 people that have a late start time. So if you're talking about 10 a.m. and 500 people are coming up to this event, you're not going to sell anything. Everyone's going to have their coffee by then. So for those type of events, I'll pass them up. They're not necessarily worth my headache, so to speak, unless it's maybe, for me as a brick and mortar, sometimes I'll use those events as a marketing tool, but that's a different story. That's a completely different story, and I'll save that for another day. what I'm talking about is, am I going to make profit at this event? It's got to be an early start time, no competition, and it's got to have a hard start time, meaning the race starts at 8 a.m. Soccer starts at 8 a.m. Family-oriented events, I do better at. So if it's a if it's a soccer event, where we got, a family of 4, I'm going to sell, 2 hot chocolates, a couple coffees, and some muffins on one ticket. So a lot of people are like, oh, why don't you go sell up at the university or something, and it's like, those aren't bad ideas, but really the family events are where the money is made for me. So those are the things that I look at for vending. Is it, do you have a lot of people there? Does it start early? Is it family oriented? And is there a hard start time? If there's not a hard start time and it's a soft start time, these are events that, like, you're going to start rolling risk on there. And so as soon as you start adding up risk, the more of these factors that aren't there, the less I'm willing to pay things like vending fees. I mean, if you give me an early morning start time and you give me a hard start time, family-oriented event with a lot of people, that's when we're going to start talking about fees. I mean, I don't mind paying a $200, a $500 fee if you can promise me 8,000 people and a hard start time. But if you can't get me 8,000 people based upon last year's sales, not your first year event, based upon last year's sales, if you can't get me 8,000 people or 5,000 people or 3,000 people and you want to charge me $2,000 or $200, there's no way I'm not going to make any money there. So those events I'll pass. I don't care how prestigious the event looks. On my end, we don't make money, so I don't pick them up. So that's how I do pricing when it comes to catering versus vending. I hope that helps you guys. This is Vince with Green Joe Coffee. We used to sell an ebook, but now we have a membership website, and so the membership access, basically what it does is it gives you access to the ebook information, plus discounts on Astoria espresso machines. That's the espresso machine I use in my coffee shop. There's all kinds of stuff in there. There's a forum now, podcasts, of course our YouTube videos go in there. You get access to my financials, what we're making every month. So all that information is in there. If you have any questions, you can comment below, shoot me an email. I hope this helps. Thanks so much. All right, bye.